You rang? Well, good Monday to you. It is the 22nd. You rang I heard the bell ring. Yes, I did. I heard the bell ring. So you had how many people shot and killed over the Father's Day weekend? You see, I told you before, I can't make you do anything. I can only make suggestions. And I told you before as well, when you ask me who I am, I will say to you, I am no one. And when you ask me how many of me there are, I will respond, I am Legion. I am Legion. You all were witness. You witnessed this again. And it doesn't matter what you are shown, you still cannot, will not read the signs. It doesn't matter how simply they are put before you. And there are those of you who will attach no significance to the outburst of emotion which took place this past Father's Day weekend. Yes, I am Legion. I am everywhere. You do still hold supreme power because you have free will. I don't. I just do what I do. I got one job, and that is going to and fro the earth, seeking who I can devour. It's the only job I got here. But I gotta tell you this. You don't know better about this place where you ain't originally from than I do. See, this is my place. This is Earth. This is my backyard. This three-dimensional plane which you know nothing about because you're not from here. You fell here. This is my domain. Do you know what I call myself when I'm with you? You know what I call myself? God. You know why I can do that? Because you're in my domain. You don't know anything about Earth. And this is my backyard. And when I whisper in your ear, you always have a choice. What happened this weekend was the result of what happened during Johnson's war on poverty. Yes. Now, let's simply dismiss some things from this equation. Of those who committed the shootings, let's eliminate some of the prospects from this lot. Can we safely exclude the nurses and doctors and firefighters? I can't put cops in there because, and let's say that it's not your neighbor lady across the street. And let's say her 4 boys were in the house. So we can exclude these individuals from the possibility of being a part of the shootings that went on. We exclude them. Let's exclude college students. We can get them right out of the way right now. Get them out of the way. I'm not going to exclude some of the newly graduated high school students. I'm not going to exclude all of them. I can't. However, we know it's not the young man or young woman that gets up and goes to work at the fast food restaurant. We can pretty much exclude them because they are at least busying themselves productively. They are producing. They are helping to produce. And let's say it pretty much narrows it down to one particular group. That particular group are the young boys who have become effeminized, being brought up in a household headed by a young single black baby's mama. Now, this is what happens. The psychological damage is done from the cradle. Absolutely done from the cradle. And if he came from a household where his birther continued to badmouth his father and all of that in front of him, disrespect him, just show that she's the top dog, and all of this time, that little boy, he doesn't realize, nor does he understand that she is emoting. He doesn't understand that. And because she's the only person he's around, and this is how she comes to him, calling him a little motherfucker, and you're just like your goddamn daddy, and all this other old bullshit. Now, this is what he grows up under. Watching his sisters be called little bitches and hoes by the female who shit him out. Those are her vaginal turds. Now, he's not going to understand that she does not have what it takes to be a mother to anything. Because she's never going to tell any of them that they were all accidents. She's never going to tell them that. Now, this boy, he's going to grow older because he will never grow up under her. This will never happen. And so while he's in her orbit, as these young boys are prone to be, and I mean into their 30s, that's another topic for another day. And so while he's in her orbit like this, he is now taking on more and more of that feminine energy that is permeating the drywall in that house, which is made of gypsum. And I explained to you all before, well, check that. I explained to the amalgamated Moors that is what our ancestors used to keep them in line and control their behavior, gypsum. It has properties, but I'm not going to go into that here. The point that I'm making here is all of those shootings were committed by fatherless boys with female emotions. You see, there was a time when boys, if they had a disagreement and it was going to get physical, all you needed was these. All you needed was these. But you see, the boys then, they had fathers. They had fathers. And so they got the masculine energy that they needed. They learned logic. Those men taught the boys how to think. And think like the men they were going to become one day. These boys start out life at a disadvantage, and it does not aid them as they grow older. What you witness, oh, I was waiting for this. I told you what something was coming, and I also told you you were not going to like it. I can't do any more than give you fair forewarning of what's to come, and still you do not change. You won't even change for you. And you still have no idea how loved you truly are. You've got no idea. Because if you did, you'd do something about it. But I'm here because you summoned me. And because you summoned me, I am now obliged to tell you the whys of what you witnessed. And if you have not learned by that atrocious act or those atrocious acts, and then it's my understanding that a 3-year-old baby boy was killed in it. Now, while some of those shootings may have been drug-related, I don't know why the media continues to use the term gang, because Chicago ain't got as many gangs as the news believes you that there are, will have you believe. There just aren't. I mean, shoot, the only real gangs that I know, and I mean that was around when I was around back in that life. What? Latin Kings, I know they still an outfit. Then that's about it. I mean, from what I understand, there may be some active vice lords on the west side, but ain't no more gangs, really. There ain't no more gangs. What you have are a bunch of little fatherless boys who are filled with feminine emotion. And as I stated, there was a time when boys used to come from here. Now, because they are so full of feminine emotion, they, just as a woman would do, they want to go for the jugular. And it is because they do not have the diplomacy of a man. No, and that's because they do not have the logic of a man. They are running off of emotions. So what's the first thing they do? They run and get a gun. There is no sitting down talking with anybody because they do not have what it takes to sit down across the table from another man, because they're not men. They're not men. They don't know how to be men. All they can be is a woman. All they can be is a woman. A man takes training. And there is no woman alive who can teach a little boy how to be a man. It will not happen. but yet you continue to pump them out. And I know the prince told you before, you are not doing them any favors by having them. You ain't doing them no favors. Now, why do you think that explosion and hellacious hail of bullets rained across the city of Egypt over the weekend? Nobody saw the message. Nobody saw the message. Since you already know there is no one out here doing this but little bastard boys whose mothers cannot control them. That is what you have out here. Ain't no gangs. Ain't no gangs. They're just little misguided bastard boys who needed a man in their lives while their mothers were telling their friends and their aunties, telling them, you don't need no man. Well, you may not, but that boy damn sure did. And you failed him. You failed him. When I was on the inside, most of the young cats was in there. They all come from y'all. They all come from y'all. Young single black baby mamas. That's where they come from. Those are your sons doing this out here. And there ain't nothing you can do to control them now. Well, it happened on Father's Day because the message was, we need our fathers. Because that is the only way any of this is going to stop. That is the only way any of this is going to stop. And the men cannot get involved until two things have to happen. That boy's got to want the advice and mentorship of a man. And I don't mean some nigga who just reached the age of a man, but he's still walking around with his damn draw showing out of his pants. That's not a man. That's not how a man dresses. A man doesn't dress like that. A profile boy does, though. A profile boy does dress like that. No man dresses like that. And see, without guidance, they don't know this. No man ever showed them how to dress. No man ever showed them how a man's hygiene should run. Get on the CGA in the summertime smelling a little funky bastard, smelling like polar bears, smelling like goats, and want to get on public transportation around people, and then want to get in somebody's damn daughter's face. Oh, well, what am I talking about? She probably like it because she don't know no better either. Nobody taught her anything either. But none of this is going to stop until fathers are once again allowed to be and raise their sons. None of this is going to stop until then. But remember, you have free will. All I can do is make suggestions. Everything else is up to you. It really is. Yes, I was down in my cell cooking up some stuff for y'all, but I didn't know what day, but nobody does. I didn't know what day. Yeah, but the bell rang yesterday. And so I had to come up and go outside. And of course, it started raining in the middle of my journey, and yeah, that's proper and fitting. Why not wash away? You see, you all still don't get it, do you? You all still don't get it, do you? The rain in Egypt right now, because it's raining right now. Is there any symbolism in the rain for you, the people of Egypt? Is there any symbolism in that rain today after this past weekend? Does that rain signify anything to you? Well, I can't tell you what to do, but if I was a thinking being, well, I would consider today's rain, which is brought by, the one and only, I would consider it a baptism. And if you understand the concept of baptism, that rain will mean more for you too. But that's how I would view that particular sign. I'm sure the prince told you that science is all around you every day. He's not lying. And he is a master. He really is. He really is. Amazing. Anyway, so this is quite the thing here. And still you do not see. Well, just remember, it is all up to you. It really is. Not only do you have a dog in this fight, but your very lives are at stake here. But again, all I can do is make suggestions. I can't make you do nothing. So I hope y'all got through with lying on me. It's talking about the devil made me do, Satan made me. I hope y'all through with that. Because all I can do is make suggestions. You have the free will. And so, I know the prince is going to see this when he goes to hook up. And he's been busy, though. He's been out here amongst some things. But I'm going to leave you all with this thought. You have got to change. And I'm going to give you one of the secrets to the mysteries of the universe. And you've heard it practically all of your life. But it really is a key to one of the mysteries of the universe. And that is, change is the only constant in the universe. Change is that's the only thing that's never going to stop happening. The only thing. You're going to change from this flesh and, you're going to change from this Muslim form to your soul space. And then when you put that in the used soul receptacle on your way home, you start hitting the spirit plane at the fifth plane of existence, fifth heaven. But right now, you all have created quite the hell for yourselves. Birthing babies without having the tools for motherhood, the temperament, nor any of the concomitant tools for motherhood. You don't have them. And it shows. How many shootings were there? Well, who do you think was doing all the damn shooting? Your sons. That's who. Your sons. And you know there ain't a damn thing you can do with that boy now. You know it. You know there ain't a damn thing you can do with him now. So you got two things to look forward to. Standing before news cameras and microphones with tears running out your eyes and snot running out your nose, talking about how they didn't have to kill him like that. What the fuck did you expect? You certainly didn't expect anything more for him because you damn sure never expected anything from him. And the reason you couldn't expect anything from him is because you never instilled anything in him that would match his journey onto manhood. Therefore, he never made it. He just became an old mama's boy full of his mama's emotions. No male logic about him at all. And that's why it's so easy for them to go run and get that Glock. Go get that pistol. Because a man's logic is nowhere in them. Nowhere in them. They operate from emotion. They don't stop and think about anything. That is what a man does. That's what a man does. He stops and thinks. An emotional woman, she flies right off the hip. However she feeling, that's what you're going to get. And that's what you have out here. Little mama's boys with their mama's emotions. And that's all they have. The only thing male about them is their physiology. And the social engineers are trying to change that and the way they see themselves. Ever see them in these skinny jeans? Those aren't men's clothes. Those aren't young men's clothes. No man got no business laying down on the bed to put on a pair of damn jeans and have them cling to his legs like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? Only women show off their forms like that. That is not menswear. That no man wears clothes like that. But you see, when you are molding the confused mind, they're not going to question anything. And because they never had a male model in their lives, they don't know how the hell a man dresses. To them, television and media dresses them. This is hot. This is new. This is what's up. And that's all they know. They have no style. It's whatever the fad or the flavor rag of the week is. That's what's up with them. Because they never had a chance to develop a style. There was no man in their lives to direct them on the path to developing their style. That is why they all look alike. And that is why they all dress alike. And that is what makes them all profile boys, because in the 1980s and on to the 90s, especially with Bill Clinton and Joe Biden, the Joe Biden bill. Yeah, that's that Bill Clinton signed that started putting more Asiatics and Aztecs behind bars. Yeah, vote for Biden. But you fit the profile. That's why you get rousted. You fit the profile. Pants all down around your ass. Jordans. Just looking like a monkey. Only thing missing is the organ grinder. Yeah, you fit the profile. But the one profile you don't fit is the profile of a man. And it is a shame. I look at 50-year-olds today, and they have the mentality of 22-year-old boys. Because I remember being of a generation whereby you 22, you not only out on your own. I know personally, I was across the country. gone to the war, come home. I moved across the country, got married, moved across the country. Didn't know nobody in California. You know, well, I'd been out there, but I ain't never lived out there. I didn't know nobody out there. What difference did it make? That's where I wanted to be. There is no more drive. There's no more ambition in them. And it is because, just like they showed the world yesterday, we want our fathers. That was the message in this past weekend. We want our fathers. And none of you got the message. None of you heard it. You set up and you listen to those talking heads tell you the numbers, and you go, oh my goodness. You ain't heard shit, they said. I'm out.